Well, good morning. It's let's see. Yeah, I'll get my glasses back on here. It is Friday, October 17th, 2014. This is the Love Project. I'm Dave Eastbrook, talking to you from Lexington, Massachusetts. You know, one of the things I like about doing this show is that every morning seem to know exactly what I'm going to talk about. And so let's jump right into it. I call this thing the Love Project for a reason. That's what it's about. It's about love. And, you know, number of things have happened the last day or two that got me to thinking, so I think I'm going to talk about them right now. Well, let's see. Where do we start? Well, So, we'll start with the Bible. That's always a good place to start. And it says right there in the Bible, the very first thing. What is it God asks you to do? Well, it's love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as yourself. And I sure do both of those things. And I'm not ashamed to say it, and I'm not going to hold back at all. So something happened yesterday that bothered me quite a bit. It doesn't bother me so much now, but I had some time to think about it. And, you know, I try not to mention people's names in this, especially when I think it might hurt their feelings. But my feelings were hurt a little bit yesterday in a public kind of way, so I thought it's fair for me to jump right in. And this is going to go out to my brother Tom. Now, Tom, I want to say this right up front. I do love you a great deal. I always have. You haven't ever been really reluctant to tell me what you think of me, for better or worse. Kind of tell you sometimes for the worse. And you said something to me yesterday, a couple times you said something to me on these posts that, well, they hurt me quite a bit, and I thought I'd want to face them and address them right now and let the chips fall where they may. Well, the first thing you said to me a few days ago was that the only thing you respect about my doing this is that I found my faith and that you respect my faith. Well, I'm glad you respect my faith. I sure do. But the other thing that I realized was, well, you know, I'm 46 years old, and, you know, I guess if I haven't earned your respect by now, I probably never will. But I want to say this, you know, well, I got to right out and say it. You know, your respect for me or lack thereof, isn't what gets me up in the morning or keeps me awake at night. Certainly one of the things I carried with me all my life is the feeling that the folks in my family, those Hansons there, didn't respect me or love me, and that bothered me quite a bit. I've been carrying that along for a long time, and it's time for me to put that down, I guess, you know. The way I feel about myself is really the only important thing. The way that God feels about me is really the only important thing. Judy loves me a lot. She tells me that. My mom tells me a lot that she loves me, and I care about that. The other thing you said to me yesterday on the post there was that you questioned my sincerity, because I tell people I love them all the time. Said I was glib and insincere. Well, that got me to thinking, and I realized this. Well, here's right out and say it. It's that, if you tell somebody you love them and they question your sincerity, and you know you're sincere, well, I guess it really only says something about them, doesn't it? And if it makes you think about yourself and question whether you are sincere, maybe that's important. I thought about it a great deal, and I am sincere. I do love all of you. I follow what it says in the Bible. I do love my fellow man, and I'm not reluctant to say it. I think one of the problems in this world is that we don't tell each other we love each other, and we don't act like we love each other. And there's a lot of people who have a lot of hurt feelings, carry around a lot of pain. And, I know what the purpose of my life is now, which is to, not feel that way, that people don't love me, because that's a rotten way to feel. God loves me. That's important. That's what it comes down to. That's the only thing you really should care about. And, I'm a human being. I've got power. I can do certain things. I can't do a lot, but one thing I can do is share the love that I have for all the people around me. And be true to yourself, they say, and I'm being true to myself. And that's what I like about this show and what it does for me. So, Tom, you made an easy decision for me. You made a decision I had pretty easy. You know, I said in one of these posts that I sign off as Dave Eastbrook, Dave Hansen. I said in another one that for the longest time in my life I felt really ashamed and embarrassed of hearing my name, David Hansen, and saying it. Wasn't sure why that was. And my first reaction when I saw the post that you said about questioning my sincerity about my love, well, that's a very typical Hanson response. And I also said, that when I changed my last name from Hanson to Eastbrook, that I somehow felt relieved not to have to be Dave Hanson anymore. I wasn't sure who Dave Eastbrook is, but now I know. I know who Dave Eastbrook is. It's the guy that I'm looking at right now. And I really like this guy. And a lot of other people seem to like me just fine. And, I'd never seen myself on video, never heard myself saying some of the things that I've been saying. And the last week or so, I've had a lot of time by myself, so I've watched a lot of these videos. And for the first time, I watched myself saying things that come right from the core of who I am, right from the heart. And to watch that's kind of painful, I say something to Judy all the time when she feels down and, feels like, as a lot of us feel sometimes, question our self-worth or what have you. And I say, Judy, boy, I sure wish that you could spend 1 minute seeing yourself the way I see you, seeing yourself the way God sees you. Well, the exercise that I've had in doing this and watching some of these videos is for the first time I got to see myself the way I really am. Well, you don't come back from that. I sure won't. It's changed who I am, changed how I feel about myself. And so, I've said before that doing something like this, you might want to try it because it's helped me a great deal and moved me to a sense of purpose and a sense of well-being that I've never felt before. Boy, I maybe should turn these announcements. It keeps pinging me that I got email and stuff, and that probably interfering with this. Another reason why I should probably get a producer for this show. But that's down the road if we ever get anywhere with this thing. So I'm sort of rambling here, but I really did have an important point to make. It's about this show, and it's what I think the message of this show should be, and certainly it's what I want it to be, which is it's all about love. I sign off every day telling you that God loves you. He does. I love you. I do. Question it if you want. I don't mind. That's fine. But I'm telling you, I do. I love you. I love my fellow man. There, I'm saying it. I tell folks, remind them to love the people in your life and let them know that you love them, because hearing that is the best thing in the world. So I do that. I'm making a point. I get to do this show every day and say it. I get to say it to as many people that are watching and listening and want to hear it. I do. I love you. I love you all very much. And I only wish the best for you. Tom, I love you very, very much. And I want nothing but happiness for you. I know you love your family and your kids and Angie, and that's the greatest thing ever. So, if you take anything that I'm saying here as anything but love, well, I'm sorry about that, but that's the only thing it's about. That's why it's called the Love Project. But, I was thinking I maybe should come up with a name for this show other than the Love Project. Nothing's occurred to me yet, so I'm going to leave it with that for now, because that's pretty much all it's going to be, is talking about love, talking about God, and how important all those things are, and seeing what little I can do to share a little bit of love in a world that doesn't seem to feel that way about itself much or about each other. Every little bit helps, I guess. And then, I feel like God has been calling me to do something. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't know if this is it. Boy, it would sure be nice if this was what it was, because I enjoyed it a great deal, and it's helped me out a lot. I've been praying a lot the last week or so about asking God to help me, because I was feeling pretty rotten. I was feeling pretty awful about things and feeling kind of lonely. And so I prayed a lot and I asked God for help, and He said He would. And you know what? By gum, He did. He sure did. I've been doing some crying harder than I've ever cried in my life. Good stuff, though, the kind of crying that gets stuff out, not kind of a poor me, despair, hopeless kind of crying, but more like a, well, let's get this out kind of crying. And I did that, and kind of tiring. Boy, that wipes you out. I'm really tired. That's why this is a little late going up this morning. I slept in. The cat kind of tried to wake me up this morning, wanted to get fed, and the alarm was going off, kept snoozing that. Judy was good enough to get up and feed the cat. She never threatens to feed the cat to the alligators. That's my joke. But Cat Boy got fed, and he seems happy about that. So good for that. And last night, another nice thing happened for me. I was all by myself. Judy had a work thing that she had to go. She didn't make me go to that, and I'm grateful for that because I don't really care for those things that much. So I was sitting on the couch and wasn't sure what I was going to do, feeling kind of lonely and alone. And so I went on to Facebook, and I realized that a lot of other people, probably are sitting out there feeling lonely and alone. And so I just wanted to say, hey, if you're feeling that way and you want to know if somebody loves you, well, I'll tell you, I do. And by gum, I do. And that's where Tom chimed in and questioned my sincerity. Well, that's why I'm addressing it now. It's kind of a circular sort of thing, comes around to that. But the nicest thing happened. And boy, do I like this thing about church and about being part of a church. Right after I did that, I got a phone call from my friend Stephen Guy. He's a member of my church, and he cares about me a great deal. And he said, you know something? We're over here at the church. Why don't you come on over? Judy had the car. Pardon me. Judy had the car, so I was kind of stuck there, but they sent somebody over to get me, and that was about the nicest thing that could have happened. But I got out of that house and got over to the church, and church is one of my favorite places to be. I sure loved it over there at Revive, and I got to be with some of my friends, and that was nice. Did a lot of praying, cried a little bit, got a bunch of this stuff out, but purged it. And of all the things that have happened to me this week, I'm here to tell you, I talk about faith a lot and how I have it now, and something really interesting and really fantastic has happened. My faith has been solidified. I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like, I was describing it to Judy this morning, it's kind of like a diamond point. My faith is rock solid. And last night, I already had told God I turned my life over to God and I want to do what He wants me to do, but I was compelled to drop to my knees last night out there in the parking lot in the rain. Didn't feel foolish or anything. There wasn't anybody looking, so I suppose that's okay. But I was like, boy, I'm ready, God. I am ready to turn my life over to You, and I feel better about that than I've felt about anything in my life. It's absolutely the right thing to do. So, 12 minutes in, maybe I'll wrap this up a little early because I've had a couple of cups of coffee, but I could use another. Read some of the paper. I guess the Bruins won. Did the Bruins win? I don't know if they played last night. I know the Patriots won. I saw they squeaked one out over the Jets. Never cared for the Jets much, even though I'm from New York. But I like to root for the Patriots. I'm in New England now, and they're an awfully good team. And Tom Brady went to Michigan, and I've always been a Michigan fan. He was kind of an underdog there for a while. He won a few Super Bowls. And like I said, living here in New England, you can't help but root for their teams here because it's all you hear about. But, I always get a kick out of it when I see people say, the Patriots won. We won last night. We won last night. Well, I don't say that because I don't recall playing in the game. But I guess it's our team, and so I guess if our team wins, maybe it's appropriate. The language of this, semantics of this are kind of fun to play with, I suppose. At any rate, let's get this thing wrapped up because, it's Friday, and that's a good thing. I'm not sure if it's going to rain today. It looked kind of cloudy this morning here in Lexington. It's still kind of humid and warm. I don't like that for October. Not ready yet for it to snow. Got a lot of firewood I got to stack up, and that's sitting back in my backyard. I could use some help with that. I'm only one guy. Got all the tools and stuff, but I'm only one guy. I'm 46, and I'm not in very good shape, so there's only so much I can do. But I have friends and people who are ready to lend a hand if I ask, so I guess I'll ask for some help. Maybe some fellas will come over here and help me stack us some firewood. And sure, they ever ask me to do that, I'm more than willing to help. I've got some chainsaws and log splitter and stuff, so it's always fun to do that with other people. I don't mind doing it myself, but it's an awful lot of work, and I can't get it as much done by myself as I'd like to. And we have a fireplace, which I like a great deal, and I'd like to be able to use it this winter, but the amount of wood it takes to keep that thing going for the winter, it's more than one fella can do. It's more than I can do. Maybe if I was in better shape or 20 years younger, I could do more, but well, it is what it is. And fortunately for me, I have friends, and they're going to get a call, and hopefully I can maybe entice them with hamburgers or something. I'm not going to give them any beer because I don't drink anymore. I'm an alcoholic, and most of the friends I have don't drink, so I won't be enticing them with beer, but I can give them some fellowship and my company and their help if they ever need it. And I'll give them my help if they ever need it, that's for sure. At any rate, this has been a rambling kind of thing. It's 15 minutes, and I think that's a good time to wrap it up. Anyhow, so here we go. We're sort of zeroing in on what we're going to do here every day. So this is going to be my sign-off. I'm Dave Eastbrook. This is the Love Project from Lexington, Massachusetts. God loves you. I love you. Believe that. Love the people in your life. Know that you are loved. Feel peace and share some peace. Do something nice for someone today. I'm going to do that. Have yourself a heck of a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you so much. And I'm going to click this and turn it off. Ha! Where's that?